Hey guys, welcome back to another live. We are here with another speaker for the garden party. I have Nikki Tate, and we are going to talk about her experience at the garden party. We had a little dialogue before this recap and reaction, so I want you guys to tune in because I have some things I want to mention that came in different live streams before this that I think Nikki really needs to hear, which was amazing for me to hear myself. But I'm going to first start off by letting Nikki introduce herself. I'm Allegra, the marketing medulla. I'm also the founder of the Women into Networking Win community. And Nikki is the founder of the Poison Bar. So, Nikki, introduce yourself. What is the Poison Bar?
So the Poison Bar is a non-alcoholic slash adaptogen bar. It's for people that are practicing sobriety, who are sober curious, or who simply don't drink and they're into wellness. I'm also a sober life strategist, and overall, I teach people how to have fun and fulfilled lives without alcohol.
I love how you break it down because sober curious, sober free. I was actually telling you that before that those are really attractive type of like I don't know what you would call it, like brand cliche names or whatever. But I love how you've created a community for people who are really looking for that lifestyle. Now, tell them real quick before we go into your experience at the garden party why you created this brand because they're like sober curious. What?
I created this brand, number one, for myself because 2.5 years ago, I went on my own sobriety journey. And these are the things that I created to help me sustain my sobriety journey. The main reason why I was drinking was due to stress. And so the adaptogens in my drinks, and adaptogens are just different roots, herbs, and plants that bring the body back to balance or homeostasis. And so I use those adaptogens in my drinks to help aid me with my stress levels so I would not be tempted to drink. And the reason why I even went on the sobriety journey is because alcoholism runs in my family. I lost my dad in 2021 due to alcohol related causes. He died of cirrhosis of the liver. And because of that, I wanted to change the trajectory of my family and my lineage and show that you can absolutely live a fun and fulfilled life without alcohol, be healthy, and just what will happen if you do, like how your life will change.
That's a beautiful story. I've heard it so many times, but I really want people to understand the deep rooted element of what you do. And when you came to the garden party, I was thoroughly impressed. Every time Nikki sets up her bar, every time I go to an event, Nikki, you give 150%. Like, I don't know if you know this, but I look at how you set things up, how you cater to your audience, how you really speak about your story. And one thing that I actually talked about in one of my other live streams was that your story matters more than anything. The product won't always sell itself. And so when you are showing up the way you do, I want to hear about what your experience was when you set up and you engaged with the audience at the garden party.
My experience, my setup. Um, when you say setup, you mean me
Well,
actually?
you were serving mushroom tea. Was
Oh my
that what that
God.
was?
Yes, it was matcha mushroom tea, and they went crazy. And they typically go crazy over that. And I'm like, and even when I do my cacao, they do, but it's something about the way that I make the matcha and mushroom. It's so satisfying. It's so nourishing. It's so calming. And everybody's like, I could replace my coffee with this. And inside of the tea, it has, 8 different mushrooms like lion's mane and cordyceps and all of those. And those herbs are adaptogens. And those adaptogens really help with brain functioning and stimulating the brain, so that same kick that you're wanting from coffee in the mornings, that mushroom tea will give you that same kick because it's stimulating your brain, which that's the prime time that you need your brain when you're starting off your day. So it's a very good soothing type of drink. So a lot of people are just in love with it. It also has matcha in it, which is matcha is just a very condensed or very potent type of chlorophyll green tea. So it really is impacting. It has a lot of antioxidants in it. It has a little bit of caffeine too that will help pipe you up a little bit in the mornings as well. And then it has almond milk and oat milk, and it has a little bit of honey in it for some sweetness.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm feeling very warm inside. um, Thank you for sharing all of the ingredients because I was a part of that experience. And, I don't know what it felt like directly for you, but I felt very warm, very invited, very relaxed. And I actually, we did a taste of the mushroom tea, and then we also did a taste of your non alcoholic wine. Now, y'all see my bottle. Nikki actually brought this for me as I was celebrating my birthday on Saturday, as well as the garden party. And Nikki was like, "Happy birthday." Now, it's empty. So, as y'all can see, I have clearly emptied out the entire bottle. But I do want you to talk about your non alcoholic wine as well, because one of the things that I've noticed is that people don't understand, relatively why they are drinking. And you mentioned something about stress and hereditary measures when you have it in your family and it actually trickles down to you. And now you just have a taste for alcohol. But I do want to talk about like why, it's so relative to say, hey, I can replace my coffee with mushroom tea. And it's not going to affect my body where I'm hyper and then I like have a crash. And then also, have those unhealthy habits. Same way with your wine, where if you are used to, like, I'm a wine lover, y'all know that about me. But I fell in love with Nikki's wine because it was just as effective. It didn't make me feel like I had to go buy a bottle of wine because I was so calm, so relaxed, but it doesn't have the after effect of the sugars, the crash, the headache. So I would love for you to just, kind of talk more about it because the non alcoholic wine part, that people don't always know that there's an option.
Right. And even if there is an option, it's typically an evaporated wine, which means that they have made the wine the normal way that they make it and then evaporate the alcohol. So it only has like maybe 1% alcohol in it. And so I wanted to provide something that was healthy. I have been in the health arena, like farming, agriculture for a while. And so I use that expertise that I acquired from farming to curate drinks that are going to be healthy for me and my family. So when I thought about a wine, because I was definitely a wine lover, and when I went on this year of sobriety, I definitely thought I was going to be going back to drinking wine. But to help sustain me throughout that time, I asked myself several questions, about what flavor would I want? What do I want it to taste like? What do I want to feel like after it? And I thought about the different herbs that came to me. Like I knew ashwagandha would be in there because it's a definite emotion. It'll just grab your emotions and completely, calm you down. I knew that was going to be a part of it. I knew grapes were going to be a part of it. I know lavender is a calming herb, but it's also purple and it reminds me of wisdom and peace. And so hibiscus helps with anxiety.
Ooh.
Um, has I have a herb called sweet pea butterfly in there, and I put that herb in there because of the color, the transformations of the color, but just the reference of butterfly to me equated with transformation. And I was going through a transformation in my life, and I was going to come out of this cocoon evolved as a completely different person. So I knew I wanted that herb in there as well. And then the heart cherries, which really are a very sexy fruit, a very abundant fruit. I wanted pomegranates and I'm probably missing some herbs, but overall, those are the herbs that came to me. Those are the herbs that I thought about that felt good. And so I put them together and when I say, oh, I am forgetting two herbs. The other two herbs were valerian and passion flower. And those are the other two main ingredients because when I went on my sobriety, I would take the tinctures of those so that I could relax into a restful sleep at night and I wouldn't be up thinking about drinking. So those are the other two main herbs that are in there. Valerian, passion flower, they are awesome herbs for calming the body down and creating a restful and peaceful environment. So those are in there as well.
I'm just like, y'all, listen, when I first heard Nikki talk about all the things she put in her wines, only thing I heard was ashwagandha because I was trying to figure out, like, what is ashwagandha? But it sounds so sexy. And then when you started talking about, like, the butterfly pea flower, I actually love butterfly pea flower, y'all. And if you are in bartending, mixology, you understand that this is all part of just making sure you have a balanced taste to, just experience, right? Like, I love how you put everything in it that made you feel like it, resonated with you first. And then it tastes good to other people second. So everybody loved your wine. For those of you who've never had it, the Neo Noir, it says it right here, all of the things that she puts in it. So get your own bottle. Okay, we'll drop the link after this. I do want to also ask you too, what was your highlight? Like, what really stood out for you at the event?
Um, I think I had a couple of highlights. Number one, I believe her name is Jonelle. I was just very elated to have a black farmer who had land, I mean acres of land, there and present, growing her own food, creating her own herb combinations, being a herbalist. Um, I really enjoyed that. And I really enjoyed Mrs. Allegra's, to be
Mama
honest. Yeah.
Senior.
Um, to be honest, card game, I think that that card game is going to be so effective. It's going to open up so many doors and allow people to express so many things. I cannot wait to get my hands on a pack of those cards.
I'm the same way, girl.
Mhm.
I said, lady, because she's my mom. So, um, so it definitely, I feel the same way, and I love how you had, more than one highlight. The experience in the all entire atmosphere that we were in. I feel like we all had different levels of experience, and I'm glad that you and Janelle actually connected because I actually thought before we even got into this space, I was like, y'all got to connect because you guys do a lot of the same things. And when I spoke to you, Nikki, this is something that me and Lashana spoke about earlier. I said, I would have never known if Lashana would have said anything like about, hey, did you invite Nikki to be a speaker or be a part of the garden party? And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't ask her. So when we talked, can you tell them what happened? Like, I was blown away, y'all. I was like, wait, what did you do for how many years? So you actually walked us through a presentation. Can you explain what that looked like for people that were not there at the garden party?
Absolutely. So I did a presentation and a workshop. The name of the presentation was Land as Medicine and Memory. And overall, the presentation went through my experience, who I am, my other business called Farming Femininity, where I teach women and femmes how to connect and reconnect back to the earth. But the presentation was about sacred agriculture, biodynamics. And biodynamics is like organic farming, but it includes practical and spirituality, connecting it all. Understanding that we are all one, we are all connected, from the animals to the soil to the skies to ourselves, and how to plant with the lunar cycles. When is the best time to plant? So I went through a history of how farming started, what came about, through as agriculture became a commodity, and what we are getting back to now that we're understanding the value of food and where our food comes from. And then I took them through a ancestral soil meditation, and then we did a planting workshop where we planted the three sisters, which is squash, corn, and beans. And we planted that because in the Native American tradition, it signifies the support that sisters give. The corn, it grows up tall. The beans, they wrap around the corn and add nitrogen to the soil. And then the squash grows out around, their leaves prevent the water from evaporating from the ground so that the roots and the plants can stay moist. And how that works together, and how that symbolizes our connection um, in our community as well.
I love it. I was I was running around like with my head cut off, like y'all, like literally when you're hosting an event without ambassadors, you're just in the wing community, we're running around. But one thing I noticed was that everyone was so enthralled in what you were doing. And you actually talked about, like, you had people's hands in their dirt you were able to teach them. And one thing y'all don't understand this, and this is what I want to like kind of dig into, because Nikki told you what she did, but I think the members all had the same reaction when we said, like, what do you mean put the seed on your tongue before you plant it? Like, we were like, wait a minute, wait. Could you give us a whole guide in the event guide when people arrive so they can look at it, take it home, kind of, plant on the moon cycles you were referring to? But I was like, wait a minute, people are going to be blown away, and they were. So
Yes.
can you talk about that part, the putting the seed on the tongue part? Y'all were not there. This blew us away.
Well, the thing is that because we're so connected, it's the microbes in the soil and the microbes in our body, we are all feeding off one another. It's kind of like the saying of, if you're around four millionaires, you'll be the next, or if you're around four poor people, you'll be the next one or the fifth one. And so when you are putting a seed into your mouth, your DNA is getting onto that seed. So when you plant it, is that saliva is going, it's DNA, your DNA is affecting how that plant is growing, and now it's curating to help heal your body based upon the DNA that you, from you putting that seed underneath your mouth. And see, Mother Nature is so smart, she is so intelligent, that if you go outside your house right now and you just look at the things that are growing around, those things that are growing around are the things that your community is needing at this moment in time in order to heal and restore your body. And that is how closely connected we are. That Mother Nature is so intelligent that even though we're inside this house, outside right now, some food is out there growing to help nourish your body.
So listen, the whole seed in the mouth thing, y'all, listen, it just blew my mind, period. So I really, really appreciate you bringing that, Nikki, because the truth is that it was a great example to the simple fact that no one knows until you tell them. Like, I wouldn't have known how that affected, the growth cycle, the connection with the earth, all those great things. So now that we've gotten past that point, okay, so Nikki, I want to give you a chance to give people an opportunity to connect with you. You definitely were talking about, your bar, so you can bring your bar anywhere where people are willing to accept you, where they want to present non-alcoholic wines, right? Like, if they're like, I want to see what that looks like for my wedding, for my baby shower, for my bridal party, for my corporate event, like whatever. I'm just thinking out loud. Um, how can they support you? How can they connect with you?
At the moment, they can reach out to me through Instagram, which is at the Poison Bar. They also can reach me by my phone number, 678-294-2826. Um, I also have a group that I just created called Adapt and Evolve Now, for those that are interested in what sober, like, they're sober curious, they may not know what it is. They absolutely can join if they're trying to become sober or just find out more information or into wellness. I have a group on Facebook called Adapt and Evolve Now. And I also, from time to time, host classes. My next one will be The Power of Imagination, and it's using the power of imagination to walk through sobriety, your sobriety journey.
That's a beautiful thing. And I'm a part of the community, so everyone, please make sure you join. We are all adapting and evolving in our own way. And I think that that's why the Seed to Success Garden Party was really a beginning stage of just the nuances of looking at, not just our businesses and our careers, but our personal development, right? Like, we need to actually like look at what are our, beginning stages and how do we grow from there. So thank you, Nikki, for bringing that to the forefront. If someone is actually looking to, say, for example, get you in farming, I know this is something that myself and Nikki were talking about earlier, and I'm like, maybe this is not a part of your repertoire right now, but one of the things that I've noticed was that people were really empowered by the fact that they can grow their own foods. So how can people connect with you in that way?
So I have an Instagram called at Farming Femininity, where they can absolutely connect with me as well, or they can also contact that same phone number. I am reworking on a website for both platforms. Until then, those are the best two ways to reach me.
That's awesome. All right, y'all. Listen, we had an amazing time. Thank you, Nikki, for coming to the event and just being a supporter, speaker, win member, just making sure that all of the ladies and men who support us are getting everything that they need in this community. You guys make sure you support Nikki, make sure you connect with her. And I will continue drinking my wine so that we can actually finish off the bottle. But make sure you get your own, because one of the major things that I love about being able to support each other is that you get to experience all the things that we're talking about. Okay, so we'll drop that link in the chat after this live. You guys can share it, support. Nikki, any final words before we end this live? Any words of encouragement?
Well, I first want to say I did do a motivational message this Monday on my Instagram. It's called Self Mastery Ain't No Hoe. And And I wanted to, I'm saying all that to say is that even this weekend at the garden party, for me to bring back out my farming and my agriculture experience was a little intimidating because I haven't done it. But I'm so thankful and so glad that you asked me to do that, because I feel like it sparked even more within me and said that no, you need to go back to doing this. You've been craving this. This has been on your mind constantly. And even in my journey of self mastery, through sobriety, through all these things, agriculture has been a very big impact. And so, me coming out to do this presentation, whether I was nervous or not, I still overcame it, and I still did it. And I just want everybody to understand and to know that in your self mastery, in your growing, in your evolving, it won't be no hoe. It will not be easy. It's going to take some work, but you can do it.
That is powerful. Wow. Thank you, Nikki. I really appreciate that. And I did see that alert. I just, girl, I got to go back and watch that live now because it shows so much as to your growth. So, congratulations on all the things that you're doing. For those of you who are watching that needed that inspiration, definitely drop a heart, because I know that we are all in different levels of life and business and success. And you're right. There are going to be times where, we get pulled back and it's like, wait, you got to be doing this, not that. Or you got to be doing all of it. And it's like, wait a minute. So I think we have to be able to be flexible and adjust. And I really appreciate what you did to just be available to us in the WIN community, to support us in the way you did, because people walked away with so much impact. I mean, I'm still getting messages today about people who are like, I put my hands in dirt, and I like, I really enjoyed that. And it's not about necessarily just the, being natural or, learning about earth. It's just about getting connected. And I think connection is really where it's always been. You connect to people, you connect to things, you connect to nature, you connect to yourself. And so once we embrace all of it, then we become more, I think, enthralled in our own successes. So thank you for your final words. I appreciate that, Queen. We're going to
Thank
get out of here. You guys have an amazing night. Make sure you connect with Nikki. We'll drop some links for you guys, and we'll see you on the next live stream. Bye.